My not-so-small pet store is a great place to come if you need some high-quality snacks for your furry friends, or if you found a cryptid and you don't know what to do. First of all, stop calling us and asking about Slender Man. He's not here, and we know damn well he's not spying on your little cousin either, alright? He's contained somewhere else, and it stopped being funny after the 15th prank call. He's a big threat, but luckily he's safe and sound in a place where he can't hurt anyone. Poor guy has to be all alone, but he's intentionally evil, so there's no other choice. Those damn directors think it's fun to make movies about all the creatures, but in reality it only makes our job harder. Weeping, terrified little kids who swear that a big man with very long arms is waiting for them at a playground is not a pleasant thing to listen to at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Slender Man is a way more complex presence than the public thinks he is. Due to a certain event that happened in the past involving some kids, we're not allowed to share any dangerous details. So stop asking, stop calling, and please stop scaring children. Now that I got this out of the way, I can finally tell you about the Loch Ness Monster. She prefers to go by Nessie, so we don't use the word monster around her, and her friend. I believe everyone knows about her, so I won't go into too much detail, but if you happen to not know Nessie, she's from Scotland, and she was first seen a long time ago. Wikipedia has some info on it, but we can't really confirm if it's true or not. What we can confirm for sure is the first sighting in 1933. The popular photo might be a hoax, but we've got some good ones that are real. She lived in the Loch Ness Lake, but now she's here. She's been here for quite a while now, caught somewhere around 1999 after a mass interest sparked and tourists became a real-life danger to her. It's really sad to think about how once people find out about a creature, they lose all common sense and don't think about anything else other than getting a photo or a video. The lake became a popular family vacation destination and a tourist attraction, which made Nessie's home a living nightmare. When it became apparent to our organization that soon we might end up with a dead cryptid, we decided to transport Nessie to our place. Oh, sorry. My dad and the rest did that. I was too young to decide anything back then, but I was there when she came. I have a habit of saying we anytime I talk about anything. Anyway, they prepared an expedition, closed off the entire area, and got Nessie on board. From what I've seen, they had a huge swimming pool-like container and they attached it to 3 to 4 airplanes. I know it sounds ridiculous, trust me, we all think it is, but somehow it worked. They safely transported Nessie to our place and accommodated her, and now she lives quite close to the mermaids. Imagine a seal, but with bigger fins and way longer. Obviously, a long neck and a tail. The head looks pretty much like a seal, but she has no whiskers and is more dinosaur-like. Or like a snake, maybe? She's quite cute, though. She likes to play with huge beach balls, tree trunks, floaties. We had to custom order big-sized ones. And eats plants. She's a very nice and friendly cryptid, just like Bigfoot. She can smile and make happy sounds. She sounds like a mixture of otters, dolphins, and seals, but she also makes those deep, long, and typically deep water fish moans when she's having fun. She was alright for all of these years, but recently we noticed that she's quite not as happy as she usually is. We changed her diet a little bit, made sure she's not sick and all that stuff, but she was still upset despite everything being like it should be. One day, while cleaning rabbit playpens upstairs, our part-timer, lovely girl, she wants to be a veterinarian, mentioned that her grandma's bunny was acting strange and they didn't know what to do. She said to her that maybe it needs a friend, and the grandma decided to adopt another one. Surprisingly, the bunny was just lonely. They need other bunnies in their life to be fully happy, but her grandma didn't know if she could manage two animals, and getting him a friend made things better. That made me think of Nessie and the possibility of her just feeling lonely. So we managed to adopt two seals and put them into one cell with Nessie. She was really happy. The seals seemed happy as well, so we let them play and decided to keep them together. The next day we found Nessie resting her head on a small island and the two seals sleeping next to her. Moments like this outshine all the shit we have to go through in this job. So, do you guys know Bessie? The American cousin of Nessie? We got a call from a cryptozoologist based in Toledo, and she said that she thinks Bessie might be in trouble. According to her, B, that's how we like to call her, somehow got injured by a boat and was seen resting on the beach for a few days. She said that the lake is no longer a good place for her, and she wants us to take Bessie to our basement. Well, we did that. And now Nessie and B are best friends. The world is quite small, huh? Who would have thought? On Monday, we received a letter from Sweden. It was nicely written, using colorful pens and stickers. Apparently, it was sent by a 12-year-old boy from Jokkmokk, and it was sent to a zoo or something, but it was redirected with an English translation to us. I'm not sure why he wanted to send it to a zoo, but I'm glad it came to us. This whole chain of events is pretty weird, to be honest. The boy said that for the past week he noticed small creatures running around his neighborhood. He was curious, so he decided to wait outside and look closer. It turned out to be gnomes. After somehow stopping one and talking to it, yes, he talked to a gnome, he found out about a woman who captured around 50 wild gnomes and was illegally selling them to illegal buyers all around the world. He was very upset and didn't know how to help, so he decided to write the letter. After exchanging some messages with Swedish cryptozoologists, we agreed that they would go there and collect the gnomes and keep them at their place for a while. The zoo probably didn't know about them, and that's why they forwarded the letter to us instead of them. But either way, the gnomes will be saved, and that's important. So now there are 52 wild gnomes somewhere in a cabin in Sweden, waiting for adoption or to be released into the wild. We still don't know what to do. But as far as I know, they're talking about their future and it will soon be resolved. Apparently, it's very hard to discuss anything with those guys. Some of them like to be inside and some want to be outside, but not in the cold and maybe not in the mountains, but also not here, so it's gonna be a rough week. Apparently, some wanted to come live with us, so we're expecting a plane on next Saturday. Never seen a real gnome before, so I'm pretty excited. Speaking of gnomes, are trolls related to them? We're looking into some sightings and we're not sure if they could be related or not. To us, it seems like not really, but some sources hint at a possible relation. If you live in a place where trolls are common, please share what you know. Have they ever hurt anyone? Do they eat people? And if so, do they do it in one bite or do they like to, munch on them? Apparently, there aren't that many sources of reliable information on trolls, so we'll be thankful for all the help we can get. And lastly, an unnerving case that could impact anyone in the world, to be honest. Do you know that image of a guy that apparently is some sort of a dream traveler? That many people claim to see him in their dreams. It's something like that, but sinister. We have no idea what caused such an outburst or where the demon came from, but we're looking into it. My crew, local ghost hunters, by local I mean every team from every country on this planet, demon specialists, and even independent hunters, we're all onto it. It's killing people in gruesome ways and it's a high priority for all of us. Some sleep demon, because how else do I even address it, went on a murder spree. First in rural Russia, and then Rome, and now it seems to choose its victims in the States. Although we expect that it moves all across the globe, as we got some deaths in Europe, Asia, Australia, all while the main killings happen here in the US and Canada. We don't know where it's gonna go next. It's a tragic case and it spreads like an infection. All we managed to determine is that it is not human. No signs of burglary. It is not an illness and not a physical creature. We know that it is a demon and we know that it kills when the victims are asleep. The best way to describe it would be to compare it to Freddy Krueger. It somehow breaks into your dream, turns it into a bad nightmare, and then kills you. Both in your dream and in real life. Some were found in a pool of blood with no wounds. Some were missing limbs and some were literally turned inside out. We had a guy who was found sitting on his wardrobe and holding his own head in front of him. A lady stabbed with every single utensil she owned. Someone who crawled under the bed with their eyes gouged out and placed on their pillow. Someone with an entire pillow forced down their throat. A guy with missing organs. They later found them hanging from a tree. And that's just some of it. We have a theory that it could have started in a small village in Russia, but we're not sure. Some lunatic took an enormous amount of drugs and a mixture of weird herbal medicine, apparently used for magic purposes, and then died in his sleep. Ghosts or demon hunters say that his soul might have turned into a sinister spirit, and now he wants some sort of revenge. But to me it seems too cliché. It did start around the same time though, and they found various books about satanic rituals and magical content, so it could be it. But it's not up to a guess. We need to know for sure, and theories are not enough. The point of me telling you all this is to warn you. Once it gets to you, there's nothing you can do. At least we don't know what you could do. But I have to warn you. The pattern that we observed so far, all victims lived alone, no one younger than 22 years old and no one older than 50 years old. Majority had no records of any serious health issues, but that might just be a coincidence. No certain body type, no certain hair or eye colors. Religion doesn't seem to be important here either, so pretty much anyone can be a target. I don't know what else to tell you, just pray it won't get to you. Crosses don't seem to work. Maybe holy water, a circle of salt? It won't hurt to try. That's it for now. Sorry for such a long pause and a bad ending, but sometimes shit happens and there's no way around it. I'm gonna be honest. Life isn't too good right now for all of us in the store. A lot to think about and a lot to do. Some really sad news came in recently and we're trying to move forward while keeping the basement running. Next time I might tell you about some more naughty residents if we don't die from the heat and exhaustion. As always, stay safe guys, and don't invite vampires into your house. I heard some guy in North Carolina was stupid enough to try it and he turned into a raisin.